Marsden today. I'm Bethany Stannard.
I'm Hannah Willett.
And I'm Isaiah Detroit-Jones.
Today's headlines. Last Friday, Jesus Christ was crucified saying he is the Son of God. He then rose from the dead and went to heaven.
On today's programme, we're going to feature first-hand accounts from witnesses of Jesus' death.
Now Junior Doherty is with the donkey that Jesus rode on. Over to you, Junior.
So when you got taken, where did you first live?
I lived in a field near my master's hut.
When the disciples took you, what did you feel like?
I felt scared and confused.
What did you feel like with Jesus on your back?
I felt very useful and honoured.
So, was it a good experience?
Yes, it was a very good experience.
Brilliant information, and I didn't know that donkeys could talk.
Jesus rode into Jerusalem. We are now going to speak to William Seed, who is talking to one of the civilians who welcomed him.
Thank you. I'm here with one of the people who laid down palm leaves for Jesus. How did you feel when you saw Jesus coming to Jerusalem?
I felt honoured that Jesus chose our city to travel to.
Why did you like Jesus so much?
I heard that he performed many miracles.
How did you feel when Jesus died?
I felt very upset. I knew the Jewish council had made a big mistake.
Was you glad when Jesus rose from the dead?
Yes, I was glad. I hope the Jewish council are ashamed of themselves.
Did you watch Jesus being crucified?
Yes, I did, just in case he saved himself.
Thank you. Back to the studio.
Now live in the Garden of Gethsemane, Helen Wilson is with one of the priests.
So why didn't you like Jesus? People cheered for him, and people never do stuff like that for me.
So you didn't like him because people cheered for him and not you?
Yes, I think I was just jealous.
Do you think Jesus is a bad man?
I think Jesus is a bad man because I think he's always bossing people about.
So you don't like Jesus because you think he's bossy?
Yes.
So why did you get someone else to get Jesus arrested?
I got someone else to get Jesus arrested because I didn't want to get the blame.
Thank you for your thoughts. Now back to the studio.
Thank you. Now Shannon Ives and Ethan Wilkin are with Judas.
Yes, hello, I'm with Judas. Now Judas, why did you betray Jesus?
Because I needed the money.
What did you feel like when he died?
I felt very, very guilty.
Were you worried when Jesus came back?
Yes, I was very worried. I thought he might punish me for what I have done.
What did you do after Jesus went up to heaven?
I changed my identity and stayed in Jerusalem.
Did you regret what you did?
Yes, I regret it each day and wish I could do what I have done.
What did you do with the money that you got when you betrayed Jesus?
I bought food for the less fortunate than me because of my guilt.
And that was Judas. Back to the studio.
That was very interesting, and we also hope that Jesus forgives you.
Now we have Alex Sturm with Peter.
Hello, I'm Alexander, and I'm here interviewing Peter. Peter, tell us, why did you abandon Jesus? I tried to fight back, but I was too much of a habit at heart. Did you feel guilty? Yes, I was very guilty. I felt I saved myself because Jesus chose me and I took it for granted. How did you feel when Jesus came back? Very worried that he came back from the dead.
Were you worried?
Yes, very worried. I thought he was mad with me.
Well, do you think he'll forgive you?
Jesus, of course. Oh, I hope so. But that's very down to him, isn't it?
Well, I guess it is, but I hope he does. Well, I think it's time to go back to the studio.
Yes, very interesting. Now over to Josh Parrish, who will be with a spectator who was within the crowd at the time that Jesus was crucified.
Well, I am with one of the people from Jesus' crucifixion.
Why did you shout out, "Crucify him"?
I shouted crucify him because I didn't like Jesus.
Do you like Jesus now?
Yes, I really do.
What do you say when Jesus was nailed to the cross?
I said, you saved others, why don't you save yourself?
Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God now?
Yes, I do.
Were you happy when Jesus risen from the dead?
I wasn't happy, I was scared, because I thought he was going to punish us.
Yes, thank you. Now back to Hannah.
Yes. Now, James Howard speaking to Mary Magdalene.
Hello, I'm James and I'm interviewing Mary Magdalene. How did you feel when Jesus was going to be crucified?
I felt disgusted that the Jewish council had sentenced him to death when he had done nothing wrong.
How did you feel when you saw the tomb was empty?
I felt very upset that my Lord had disappeared. I also wondered where he'd gone.
Did you believe Jesus when he had said that he had returned from the dead?
Of course I did. I was so relieved he was back.
When you realised it was Jesus, what did he tell you to do?
He told me to tell his friends I had seen him and that he would soon join his Father in heaven.
Did you carry out his orders?
Of course I did. He was my Lord. What else was I supposed to do?
Thank you for that. Back to the studio.
Yes, thank you, James. Now we have Dara de Paula with Jesus' mother, Mary.
Hello, I'm Dara de Paula here to interview Mary herself, Jesus' mother. Hello, what's your name?
Mary,
How did you feel when you knew your son would die?
I felt horrified. I wept and wept because I was so upset and shocked.
Did you feel his pain when he was on the cross?
Yes, there was a deep feeling of pain all over my chest, but I held my breath because I could not talk.
Did you think it was fair for Jesus to die?
Of course not, he's my son. I was supporting every step of the way because he did absolutely nothing wrong.
How did you feel when Jesus came back to life?
I felt relieved and very lucky, but then again he had to go back into heaven with his Father, so I said my goodbyes until we meet again.
Now Olivia Probert is with Jesus himself. Over to you.
Hello, I'm Olivia Probert. I'm here at the Garden of Gethsemane interviewing Jesus. First of all, did you feel honoured by the people who laid down palm leaves to you?
Yes, I felt very honoured and they are very kind people. It made us feel happy after the long journey which had just taken place.
How did you feel about being arrested?
I felt okay and I'm not going to deny being the Son of God.
Did you feel offended that Judas betrayed you?
No, because he was a good friend and I'm not prepared to go against him.
Do you feel like you have done anything wrong?
No, because I care for others and deeply believe in God.
Will you return back to earth one day?
Yes, it would be nice to see my disciples and how they are getting on. I would tell them about what has gone on in heaven.
Did you feel upset that you had to leave your friends to be with your Father?
Yes, I felt very upset that I had to leave my friends, but I was also looking forward to seeing my Father in heaven again.
How did you feel about being nailed to the cross?
It was very stressful and painful, but I was prepared to sacrifice myself for God.
Very interesting. Thank you for today's news.
We hope you've enjoyed watching Jerusalem today. We will be back at the same time tomorrow.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.